Okay, welcome back. You're about to meet a bloke who wants to break a motorbike speed record of 150 miles an hour. That doesn't sound that impressive, but Kate may just persuade you otherwise.
Well, 150 miles an hour doesn't even come close to the speed record for a motorbike, but it does if you're not on the motorbike. Imagine water skiing behind a bike with only a thin strip of titanium between you and the foot-shredding tarmac. We've found a man who can more than imagine it. He does it. Sit back and watch the sparks fly. When it comes to speed, there's not much you can teach professional motorcyclist Gary Rothwell. But a grey day in Leicestershire is about to witness a record challenge that will astonish even the world-weariest biker. 29-year-old Gary from Liverpool aims to beat his own world record for skiing behind the most powerful production bike in the world. At speeds approaching 150 miles an hour, with only 2 millimetres of titanium plate to protect his feet, it takes enormous skill.
While I'm actually in this position, I can steer from this position as well, just by pulling the bike from one side to the other. So if I'm going to pull it to the left, I've got to stick one leg out to the right, because if I try and pull it to the left, it'll just pull me over to the right then. So I'll put one leg out to the right and pull it over to the left.
In a deadly high-speed manoeuvre, Gary will slide from his prone position over the back of the GSX 1300R Hayabusa using no stabilisers. Wearing metal-soled boots to skid along the ground, controlling the bike from behind the seat.
I've got a kill switch on the back, which obviously cuts the engine out in case the throttle sticks open or something like that. With having 2 throttles, it makes it a little bit sticky. And I've got a throttle on the back. Obviously, I'm going to be opening the throttle wide open. That's going to get me to 150 mile an hour plus.
Gary needs the full 2.5 miles of Britain's longest private runway at Bruntingthorpe to develop sufficient speed to break through his previous best of 150 miles an hour and still have room to bring the bike back under control.
If I did come off at that speed, if the bike starts doing cartwheels, if the bike obviously lands on me, it's a big, it's a big Suzuki, that'll obviously knock the wind out of me at the least. I might just fall on my back and skid along on my back, and at them sort of speeds you've got to keep turning over. Otherwise, if I just lie on my back at 150 mile an hour till I've stopped, I'll have no back left and no leathers. So if you've got to keep rolling over. When you start getting hot, it's the other side, the other side. This type of stunt obviously is very dangerous at any speed. Basically, I've been doing this for 6, getting on to 7 years, and even I might not walk away from it today. So I've obviously come off once or twice. You can't call yourself a stunt rider and not fall off every now and again. So touch wood, it won't happen today. There's quite a few stones on the track. You get flicked up, and it feels like when one of them hits you in the chest, it feels like you're getting shot.
Gary's custom-made titanium boots cost £400 a pair and have to withstand temperatures reaching several hundred degrees. They can only survive 8 miles of skiing.
With the titanium ones, they're a lot lighter than the steel items, which I've got as well. So just even hopping on and off the back, it makes it a lot easier.
But it's not all high-tech wizardry.
This is a nice technical shot here of a nice elastic band. Simple things in life do come in handy. It's just helping to shut the throttle off. You see the throttle there? The spring on the back of this just isn't strong enough, so this is going to work.
Gary has grown to accept the hazards of stunt work, but his parents still find it difficult to watch him perform.
My dad's coming towards the track looking for me, and I come past standing on the seat doing a wheelie at about 80 mile an hour, and he just had to turn around and walk away. And my mum was just getting up the steps then, so he just basically grabbed and said, "Oh, don't watch, just walk over here," and shuffled my mum out the way. So he thought I was basically in the process of killing myself.
Weather conditions are critical to Gary's survival. If the wind gusts, the riderless bike could be pitched sideways with disastrous results. In a practice run, Gary gets close to his own record, but he's going to have to push it even further.
Let me take him off. What was that one? 148.8. 1.5 mile an hour down.
Getting there.
You're a whisker away, man.
With tension rising, Gary heads back up the 2-mile runway to make his record attempt. Remember, this is the world's most powerful production motorcycle. Gary has to step up through 6 gears to reach his jump-off speed of 80 miles an hour. This is the first moment of risk. Any imbalance here will send the bike crashing to the tarmac. He's down, and the sparks fly. Now he opens the throttle to accelerate towards his maximum speed. He's fighting crosswinds that threaten to knock the bike off its line. Steering is made even more difficult by the uneven runway surface. It's almost impossible to see straight ahead, and he can only guess at the speed he's reaching. He's almost at the timing lights. He has to have reached his maximum speed at this point. 156.3 miles an hour. Gary can't stop the bike unless he can jump back into the seat. He's done it, but Gary doesn't yet know whether he's broken the world record until he checks with the adjudicator. Gary has never broken through the 150-mile-an-hour barrier. Now he's smashed it with a new world record.
How did it feel?
It actually feels faster than when I've done it in the past. If someone does try and break this, if they're going to have an attempt at it, give me a shout, because I want to be there. I'd like to watch someone else doing it, actually, just see how scary it does look, because it feels scary. So I'd like to just watch it myself.
So, with a new world record speed of 156.3 miles an hour, Gary hot-foots it to the nearest puddle to cool off.
Hot feet.
Last week we showed you the story of 2 British skydivers who set a new record for spinning upside down. This week we've got a few more. 300 more. They're trying to make the world's biggest ever skydive formation. And don't forget, they're falling at well over 100 miles an hour. Let's see how they got on.
For 6 long years, parachuting groups from all over the world have been trying to beat the world record of 200 skydivers clasped together. The record demands that the divers stay in a single formation for more than 3 seconds. It's a highly demanding and dangerous challenge that takes place 4 miles above the Earth, where the air is thin and cold. The smallest mistake can mean certain death. This challenge needs the commitment of 300 experienced divers from around the world with an average age of 39. The divers gather together in Illinois, USA to prepare for this exciting and dangerous challenge, organised by Roger Nelson.
Yeah, but you know what the solution is? That we're back to 17,000. Yeah, exactly.
The plan is as simple as it is nearly impossible. The attempt at the formation begins with the core. 7 jumpers with arms clasped leap out of the plane, forming a human bullseye. Immediately, 293 additional divers exit their planes in a series of staggered starts. They manoeuvre their colour-coded bodies towards the centre 7, using the incomplete jigsaw puzzle below like a map. If each diver can find their precise position in the football field-sized pattern and everyone can stay linked up for 3 seconds, a Guinness record is set.
It's 300 foot square in circumference, and it's a very large platform when you consider it human bodies. And what we've done is design a structural integrity so we can link it up and make it actually fly. Though in a vertical perspective, this thing is actually flying like a magic carpet.
A dozen medium to large aircraft have been enlisted to fly in a dangerous tight formation. They'll deliver the international crew of jumpers to their departure zones. It's so high above the Earth, everyone's oxygen mask becomes their lifeline.
Hey, ready? 3, 2, 1, green light, exit.
The bodies begin dramatically falling in rapid succession. Each diver has little more than 1 minute to find their specific spot and make a firm grab on the other diver's arm, leg or hand. If just one diver, one piece of this enormous puzzle makes a mistake, the entire formation can break. On the first jump attempt, many of the divers aren't hitting their marks. Roger Nelson expects perfection.
And I have the veteran cream of the crop of the world here, and I expect that kind of performance out of them.
The record seems like a distant hope after the first jump, and subsequent dives are no better. But the divers continue through great adversity and danger to take on the Guinness Challenge.
John, let's go, John.
And a new formation is choreographed and drilled on the ground. But the only way for the men and women to really perfect their parts is in the air.
That's a working time, folks. That's all the faster it has to be.
Jumping 4 times a day, day after day, the number of record attempts climbs past 10 and then approaches 20. Organiser Roger Nelson is forced to make some hard decisions.
That's a late swoop. See the sideways turn? What's happening here? I'm not even trying to go fast, and I'm thinking, holy cow, look at the flak I got to go through.
Divers who are not making the grade are cut from the team.
You're off anything I do ever again, because we told you once, we follow the rules. We make sure these people are safe before you get them all celebrating. You're not checking in with them. Forget it, Andre. Don't even say a word. We told you too many times.
Unable to make a 300-person formation a reality, they have time for one more jump. Roger decides to go for the record with 246 skydivers. It's a hard decision as 29 world-class divers won't be making the jump.
Other jumps behind us. This is a new jump. Are we ready?
The skydivers are carried to their departure coordinates. The mood is somber and focused.
Let's go down. Here we go.
The core group jump and are followed by the determined divers who begin to fall for the record. Dropping with precision, each member finds his spot. The divers are linking up and show their drills and training are winning out over tiredness. Remember, they must hold the formation for 3 seconds. When the last group is in place, the clock will start. The pack looks good. 1, 2, 3. This could be a Guinness record. The formation breaks up after being held a remarkable 7.3 seconds. It looks like they did it, but it won't be an official Guinness record until the judges review the videotape back on the ground.
Thank you very much.
All right. Yes. Well, we'll find out, but I think that's a new world record.
On the ground, Judge Gene Collar makes it official.
The record 246-way formation was held for a total of 7.3 seconds.
An amazing new record set 4 miles above the ground by a group of talented and dedicated skydivers.
Well, after all we've been through tonight, I feel a bit adventurous. Me, Kate, and all the studio audience are off to try and break that record. Join us next week to see if we come back alive. Good night.
Good night.
Next week on Guinness World